Now, about at this same time, Jean Silva had just fought Baghadsarian. He annihilated him, and he did it the Jean Silva way. Jean Silva was going viral for being a dominant force in the UFC. So now we've got Jean Silva in the spotlight, and we've got Bryce Mitchell. Jean Silva's wanting to get into the ranks. Bryce Mitchell is in the ranks, but he's not too high, and everybody's hating on Bryce Mitchell, and they want to see him get knocked the fuck out. This is the perfect matchup. You guys want to see Bryce get knocked the fuck out? Well, here's the guy. People were just talking about it. That should be the next fight. It was almost immediately after. It actually happened. It happened so fast that I was like, this is not real. I'm being pranked right now. If Jean wins, it'll move him straight upward in the ranks. Also keeping the fighting nerds collectively at 0. But if Bryce Mitchell wins, that's his redemption arc. Bryce needs this win. He needs to be that beloved character again. We got all this build-up that I just mentioned, and now they're at a press conference. Everyone's booing Bryce Mitchell the second his name is mentioned. Because this is, again, still basically immediately after the shit that he said on his podcast. But Jean Silva, he's interrupting Bryce Mitchell the whole time. He's being very loud, aggressive. He's barking and telling Bryce Mitchell to fuck off. So going into this, you're thinking Bryce is the bad guy, Jean is the good guy. But after that press conference, now the tables have turned. Now, Jean Silva is the bad guy because he's being cocky, annoying, and way too over-the-top aggressive. The fame is starting to go to his head. He's getting way too cocky. And because he portrayed himself that way on stage, and Bryce stayed calm, cool, and collected, now the roles immediately flipped again.
I just wanted to ask Bryce Mitchell quickly. It's been a tough couple of months, I would say. Obviously, we're not used to hearing boos for you. There's been some controversy, I guess.
And Jesus said,
Hey,
remember,
fuck Bryce
if the
Mitchell.
world hates
Fuck
you,
Bryce Mitchell.
they've hated
Fuck
me
Bryce
first.
Mitchell. Fuck Bryce
Is
Mitchell.
this servant greater
Fuck
than
Bryce
his master?
Mitchell. Hey, brother. Fuck Bryce Mitchell.
You barking up the wrong tree, motherfucker.
Fuck Bryce Mitchell. Please.
So you can see why Jean Silva's now the hated one. And we've been seeing Bryce Mitchell. He's having nightmares saying that Jean Silva's a demon and Jean Silva is known as the Lord. He's got Lord on his tattooed on his chest. Bryce is so religious and he's saying Jean Silva is a demon. Like if this was the WWE, you'd be like, oh, this is for sure scripted. I need Bryce to win. I need him to win.
Watch this full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast by clicking the link in bio.